Okay, today we're going to start prepping our bottles and making our planting for the artificial selection lab. So the first thing you want to do is come up to my sample bottle and mark the height of the cut around the body of the bottle. Then you're going to punch a hole at that location and very carefully, turning the bottle on its side, use your scissors and cut along the bottom of the bottle curve so that you have good control and you can cut all the way around. Next, you're going to put your cap against the block of wood and you're going to use a nail and a hammer to punch a hole straight through the center of that cap. Now that hole is not going to be wide enough, so the next thing you need to do is widen the hole with scissors. And you do that by just putting some scissors right into that hole and twisting it around. And then you can stick it from the other side and twist again until you get a nice, somewhere between half a centimeter and a centimeter wide hole. Next thing you want to do is put the lid back on the top of your bottle and you're going to thread your wicks through that cap. That's going to take some time. Sometimes it helps if you use the nail to force the beginning of that thread through the hole. And so once you have that done, you're going to stretch them out so that they are all the same length, tie a knot, and you'll pull that knot back down into the cap. At that point, your threads at the top should not be taller than the top of the bottle, so you may need to trim them, and the threads at the bottom should dangle and rest along the side, like you can see right here. So you've pulled that knot into here, you've trimmed the threads, and you're letting the rest of the threads rest at the bottom. That's how you know the wicks are right. Now you're just going to work with the top again, and you're going to fill with potting soil. You're going to fill that upper reservoir. Then you want to add water. So you want it to be nice and damp, and you want those wicks not to be resting against the side of the bottle. They're going to be more effective if they're kind of evenly spaced out. You've got 3 of them, so space those out within the soil itself, because that's where your moisture is coming from. You don't want it all along the sides and super dry in the middle. Once you've moistened that soil, you're going to add your seeds along the top, and you want to do that, again, evenly spaced out, not right up against the edge, not super close to the center, just really kind of as evenly spaced as you can get it. So here's my drawing of where those would be, and you're going to mark along the outer edge, maybe with stickers or whatever I give you, to show where those 5 locations are. And then finally, you're ready to add vermiculite. You're going to use a formula scoop to do that. Hopefully that's going to get you a nice layer. Again, we're going for, about half a centimeter or less of depth. This should be a really thin layer of vermiculite. What vermiculite does is it takes and holds that, heat energy from the lights and allows the seeds to germinate because it warms them up. It gives them that nice temperature that they need to germinate. So you've got the moisture, you've got the heat for germination. That's what we want. We want those seeds to actually sprout. One thing I should have mentioned, when you plant the seeds, don't push them into the soil. They should be resting on top of the soil and then gently covered with vermiculite. And then you are ready to put that into your base of your planter. And you want to fill that up with our fertilizer water mix. And that water should not go beyond the cap, because then the water is wicking directly into the soil. You want the water to only be able to travel up the wicks. But you want plenty of water in there so that you're not constantly having to replenish the water. So you want to get it close to the cap, but not up to the cap. And that's what you need to set up your Wisconsin Fast Plants planter.